The underground facility was never meant to feel alive, yet tonight it breathed like a restless beast. Deep beneath layers of reinforced concrete and steel, scientists and soldiers stood silently around a massive cylindrical tank filled with glowing blue liquid. The air was cold, sharp with the hum of machines and the low vibration of power running through the walls. At the center of the tank floated a woman alien, unmistakably so, her skin pale with faint iridescent patterns. Her long dark hair drifting slowly as if moved by invisible currents. She had been found drifting in space, sealed and unconscious, and now she was humanity's most guarded secret. Dr. Elias Monroe stood closest to the glass, his reflection distorted by the liquid's glow. Years of research, countless debates, and sleepless nights had led to this moment. The alien had shown no signs of awareness for weeks. Her vital readings were stable, too stable, as if time itself had paused for her. Some believed she was a biological artifact, others feared she was a weapon. Elias believed she was something far more dangerous, an intelligence watching from behind closed eyes. Without warning, the lights flickered. A soft alarm chimed once, then went silent. The blue liquid inside the tank rippled. Several scientists stepped back instinctively, hands tightening around tablets and instruments. The woman's fingers twitched. "She's waking up," someone whispered. Before anyone could react, the alien's eyes opened. They were not wild or confused. They were calm, focused, aware. The liquid level dropped suddenly, draining faster than programmed. Cracks spread like spiderwebs across the thick glass as pressure alarms screamed to life. Soldiers raised their weapons, lasers and rifles trained on the tank, fingers hovering over triggers. Elias felt his heart pound, but he didn't look away. The alien woman slowly turned her head, her gaze locking directly onto him through the glass, as if she had always known where he would stand. The tank released a sharp hiss. A seam opened near the base, and glowing blue liquid spilled onto the floor, flowing outward in thin streams. The substance shimmered unnaturally, moving with purpose rather than gravity. As the liquid spread, the alien woman lifted her hand and placed it gently against the inside of the glass dot. Then she spoke. "If I drip on you," she said calmly, her voice smooth and perfectly clear, "blame yourself." The room froze. No translator activated. No delay followed. She spoke flawless English, her tone neither threatening nor friendly, just certain. A chill ran through the room, stronger than the cold air. Elias felt his breath catch. That sentence was not a warning. It was a statement of fact. "Step back," a military officer shouted, though his voice wavered. The alien woman's lips curved slightly, not quite a smile. The glass gave way with a deep crack, splitting down the center. The front panel collapsed inward, shards falling harmlessly away from her as if pushed aside by unseen force. She stepped forward, barefoot, her feet touching the metallic floor. Just inches from the glowing liquid pooling below. The liquid reacted instantly. It surged toward her like a loyal creature, stopping just short of her skin. Sensors went wild. Energy readings spiked off the scale. The soldiers tightened their formation, fear now visible on their faces. "This was not part of any plan. You brought me out," the alien woman continued, her eyes moving slowly across the room, studying every human expression. "You broke the seal. Responsibility follows action." Elias swallowed hard. She's controlling it," he murmured, more to himself than anyone else. The woman's gaze returned to him. "Control is a human word," she replied. "This is agreement." The blue liquid crept closer to the edge of a soldier's boot. He didn't notice at first, his focus locked on her face. Elias tried to shout a warning, but it was too late. The liquid trembled, as if deciding something. The lights went out. In the sudden darkness, the facility alarms screamed at full volume, and something deep within the base began to unlock itself, Doors, systems, protocols humanity never meant to open. And the alien woman stood calmly in the center of it all, waiting. The room did not explode into chaos as expected. Instead, a heavy silence took control. Soldiers stood frozen with weapons raised, yet none of them fired. The alien woman stood barefoot on the cold metal floor, surrounded by broken glass and glowing blue liquid. She did not rush or threaten. She simply observed. Her calm was unsettling. Humans were used to fear or anger from unknown enemies. Calm was worse. Colonel Harris broke the silence. He ordered his men to hold position. His voice sounded firm, but his eyes betrayed uncertainty. The alien woman slowly turned toward him. Her movements were smooth and deliberate, as if gravity itself had agreed to follow her rules. The blue liquid shifted slightly, responding to her presence like a living thing waiting for instruction. Dr. Elias Monroe took a careful step forward. His instincts screamed at him to stay back, yet his curiosity was stronger. He had spent his life studying alien signals and distant stars. Now the universe stood breathing in front of him. He asked her who she was. His voice echoed in the large chamber. She looked at him for a long moment before answering. She said names were tools, and tools depended on purpose. Humans exchanged uneasy looks. This was not how a captive spoke. This was how a visitor spoke. Or a judge. The military scanner showed no weapons on her body, no implants, no armor. Just flesh and light patterns beneath her skin that shifted slowly like living art. One technician whispered that she looked fragile. Another nodded in agreement. She was smaller than most humans, unarmed, bare, alone. The assumption formed quickly and dangerously. Colonel Harris ordered a controlled approach. 2 soldiers advanced slowly, boots echoing against the metal floor. The alien woman did not move. She watched them with what could almost be described as curiosity. The blue liquid slid closer to her feet, forming thin, glowing lines across the floor. She spoke again. She said humans always mistook silence for weakness. She said that mistake had ended civilizations. Her tone remained calm. There was no threat in her voice. That made it worse. One soldier stopped. The other continued. He raised his weapon slightly, aiming at her chest. His finger tightened. He believed technology and training made him superior. He believed she was contained. He believed wrong things. The liquid moved. It did not splash or explode. It rose slowly like fog given shape. It touched the edge of his boot. The soldier froze. His breathing grew loud inside his helmet. The liquid did not burn. It did not melt. It simply soaked in and vanished. For a second nothing happened. Then the soldier screamed. He dropped his weapon and fell to the floor, clutching his leg. His scream was not pain alone, it was shock. His skin glowed faintly where the liquid had touched him. His heartbeat spiked on the monitors, then stabilized in an unnatural rhythm. Medics rushed forward, but stopped when the alien woman raised her hand. Not in command, in caution. She said he would live. She said humans were resilient beyond expectation. She said that was why the galaxy feared them. The room fell silent again, but this time it was fear mixed with awe. Dr. Elias realized something important in that moment. She was not surprised by their actions. She had expected them. She understood humans better than humans understood her. Emergency lights flickered as power levels fluctuated. Systems designed to contain threats began to fail one by one. Not because she attacked them, because the facility was never built to hold something that did not resist. Something that cooperated with reality itself. Colonel Harris ordered a full lockdown. Doors began to seal. Bulkheads slid into place. The alien woman looked around slowly, then nodded as if approving their attempt. She said humans always built cages when faced with the unknown. She said cages revealed fear, not strength. She said strength was adaptation. She looked directly at Dr. Elias when she said that. Above them, far beyond the concrete and steel, something shifted in orbit. Sensors detected faint signals, not human, not friendly. Dr. Elias understood then that the tank was never a prison. It was protection. And humanity had just opened it. The soldier did not die. That alone confused everyone. His body lay still on the floor, breathing steady yet wrong. The glow under his skin faded slowly, but something had changed. Medical scanners showed impossible results. His muscles were stronger. His reflex readings exceeded trained limits. His heart beat with perfect rhythm, as if corrected rather than damaged. The alien woman watched quietly as humans worked around the fallen soldier. She did not interfere. She did not show concern. To her, this was expected. Dr. Elias Monroe noticed that detail immediately. Nothing surprised her. Not fear, not weapons, not pain. She finally spoke again. She said the liquid was not poison. It was not a weapon either. It was a response, a mirror. It reacted to intention. Aggression shaped it. Fear guided it. She said, humans had touched it with conflict in their minds, and the liquid had answered. Colonel Harris demanded clarity. He wanted to know if she was responsible. He wanted to know if this was an attack. His authority filled the room but did not move. She said responsibility was shared. She said humans opened the tank without asking why it was sealed. She said curiosity without patience was dangerous. That statement struck deeper than any threat. Dr. Elias stepped forward again. He asked her why she was here. Why she was found drifting alone. Why she was locked inside a tank designed to suppress energy and time. The alien woman studied him carefully. Her eyes carried weight. Not age, experience. She said her kind learned early that survival depended on control. They controlled their emotions, their bodies, their expansion. Humanity did not. Humanity adapted instead. She said that terrified the galaxy. The room shifted uneasily. Humans had always believed themselves behind in cosmic scale. Primitive, loud, yet here was an alien calling them. Terrifying. She explained that her species observed Earth for a long time. They watched humans survive extinction events, wars, plagues, environmental collapse. They watched humans lose and rebuild again and again. Where other species stagnated, humans changed. That ability made humans unpredictable. The tank she had been inside was not meant to restrain her strength. It was meant to hide her. She had volunteered for containment, to escape those who feared what she knew. Emergency systems failed completely. The base lost internal power. Backup generators struggled to keep critical systems alive. Doors unlocked across sectors that had never been meant to open together. This was not sabotage. It was consequence. The blue liquid retreated slowly back toward the shattered tank, gathering itself as if concluding an experiment. The alien woman did not command it. It obeyed anyway. Colonel Harris received an urgent update from Orbital Command. Unknown objects had been detected at the edge of the system. Not probes, not debris. Structured movement. Intentional. The alien woman confirmed it before he finished reading. She said they were coming for her. She said Earth was not their target. Not originally. She said that had changed. Dr. Elias felt the weight of that realization settle in his chest. Humanity had not been discovered by accident. They had been noticed. She explained that her people believed humans would destroy themselves before becoming a threat. When that did not happen, plans changed. Observation became containment. Influence became intervention. The soldier on the floor suddenly sat up. Every weapon snapped toward him instantly. His eyes were clear, too clear. He looked around, then stood without assistance. His movements were precise, controlled, balanced. He reported no pain, no confusion, only clarity. The alien woman nodded once. She said this was why her kind feared humanity. The liquid had not harmed him. It had aligned him. She said humans evolved through chaos. The liquid amplified that trait. In the wrong hands, it could reshape worlds. Above Earth, the signals grew stronger. Dr. Elias realized something terrifying and profound. Humanity was not being invaded. Humanity was being tested, and the galaxy had just made its first mistake by forcing that test too early. Darkness did not slow the humans. It focused them. Emergency lights washed the facility in red shadows as alarms continued to echo through the corridors. Soldiers moved into new formations without waiting for orders. Years of training took over where technology failed. The alien woman observed this shift with interest. Fear had not broken them. It had sharpened them. Colonel Harris gave commands through a short-range system powered by battery packs. Units secured choke points and sealed critical paths by manual override. Humans adapted faster than the facility systems could collapse. The alien woman noticed this and tilted her head slightly. This was not panic. This was response. Dr. Elias. Monroe moved beside her, carefully keeping distance, but refusing to hide. He asked her if the ships in orbit would attack. She answered honestly. She said attack was inefficient. She said observation was more likely. She said the visitors wanted to measure reaction, not destruction. That answer did not bring relief. It brought tension. The soldier who had been touched by the liquid stood near the medical team. His presence unsettled everyone. He was calm in a way soldiers rarely were after trauma. His senses felt sharper. He could hear distant footsteps through walls. He reported changes without fear. He said it felt natural. The alien woman explained that humans possessed a rare trait. They accepted change faster than most species. Where others resisted adaptation, humans embraced it when survival demanded. She said this made them dangerous allies and terrifying enemies. Above-ground Earth defense networks began to activate. Old systems and new ones linked together through human creativity. When automated connections failed, engineers bridged gaps manually. Humanity did not wait for perfect conditions. They worked with what existed. Colonel Harris received another transmission. Orbital sensors confirmed multiple unknown vessels holding position just beyond weapon range. No aggressive movement. No communication attempts. Silence again. The alien woman said silence was their weakness. She said her kind had learned to fear what humans did in silence. Humans planned. Humans prepared. Humans imagined outcomes. She walked slowly toward the center of the chamber, stepping around broken glass and fading blue residue. The liquid no longer moved freely. It rested contained by itself. She did not command it. It simply followed natural agreement. She told Dr. Elias that her people once believed humans would never leave their planet. They believed human conflict would limit progress. They underestimated stubbornness. They underestimated curiosity. They underestimated survival instinct. The facility trembled slightly as external systems adjusted power flow. Humans were rerouting energy through paths never intended to carry it. The base did not fail. It changed. Colonel Harris made a decision. He ordered a controlled release of information to Global Command. Humanity would not hide. They would not provoke either. They would observe while preparing response. That choice surprised the alien woman. She said restraint was rare. She said it was also dangerous. She smiled faintly. This time the smile held respect. The enhanced soldier volunteered for recon. He believed he could sense changes in the energy fields around the facility. Tests confirmed it. The liquid had not made him alien. It had amplified what was already human. Dr. Elias understood the deeper implication. Humans did not need alien technology to evolve. They needed pressure. The alien woman revealed her final warning. She said if the observers decided humanity was unstable, they would attempt containment on a planetary scale, not invasion. Isolation. Earth would become a sealed system. Colonel Harris responded without hesitation. He said humans had broken out of worse cages. That answer echoed through the chamber. The alien woman looked at him with something close to admiration. She said that response was why she had chosen Earth, why she had hidden here, why she had waited. Above Earth, the unknown ships adjusted position slightly. It was not an attack. It was anticipation. Humanity was no longer the subject of study. Humanity was now part of the equation, and the galaxy was beginning to understand the cost of that realization. The alien woman finally chose to speak without being asked. The moment felt heavy, as if the facility itself leaned closer to listen. Humans had stopped treating her as a threat and had begun to treat her as a variable. That shift mattered. She said her presence on Earth was not chance. It was choice. She explained that her people were not explorers by nature. They were managers. They observed civilizations and decided which ones required guidance and which ones required limits. Most species accepted limits without resistance. Humanity did not. Humanity resisted even before understanding what it resisted. That instinct made humans unpredictable. She revealed that she had been part of an internal division among her kind. A group that believed humanity should be allowed to grow without interference. They were ignored, then silenced. She had been placed in the tank not as punishment, but as removal. Isolation disguised as safety. Dr. Elias listened without interrupting. He understood now that the tank had not been built by humans. Humans had only reinforced it. The original design was alien, elegant, defensive, protective. The alien woman said she escaped containment by allowing herself to be found. She allowed human recovery teams to detect her signal. She allowed transport to Earth. She trusted that humans would open the tank eventually. Curiosity always won. Colonel Harris asked the question everyone feared. He asked what would happen next. She answered simply. Observation would end soon. Decision would follow. Her people would either classify humanity as a threat or as a weapon. That word hung in the air. Weapon did not mean attack. It meant potential. It meant direction. It meant control. Human command channels lit up across the globe. Governments argued. Militaries prepared. Scientists debated ethics while engineers built solutions. Humanity did what it always did when faced with uncertainty. It acted in many directions at once. The alien woman watched this chaos with something close to approval. She said unity was not required for survival. Momentum was. Humans had momentum. The enhanced soldier reported new sensations. He could feel the presence of the ships above Earth. Not location, intention. The alien woman confirmed it. She said the ships were linked through a shared awareness field. Humans were beginning to touch that field accidentally. She warned them that this development would not go unnoticed. Dr. Elias asked her where she stood. Her answer came after a long pause. She said she could no longer return to her people. She said she had already chosen a side when she trusted humans with her escape. Colonel Harris asked if that meant alliance. She said alliance was a human word. She said she would stand where outcome mattered most. She stepped forward again toward the remains of the tank. The blue residue responded faintly, then settled. She said the liquid was now bonded to human biology, not her own. Humans had changed it through interaction, through will, through instinct. That was the point of no return. Orbital sensors detected a signal pulse from the unknown ships, not communication. Calibration. They were adjusting models, updating expectations. Alien woman said the galaxy had misjudged the speed of human adaptation. She said they believed evolution required generations. Humans proved it could happen in moments. Dr. Elias felt pride and fear collide within him. She delivered her final truth. She said if her people decided humanity was too dangerous, they would attempt containment immediately. No warning. No negotiation. A silent cage around the solar system. Colonel Harris replied without hesitation. He said humans would break it. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow, but eventually, The alien woman smiled openly this time. She said that certainty was what frightened the galaxy most. Above Earth, the ship shifted formation again. The enhanced soldier staggered briefly, then steadied. He said they were watching closer now. The alien woman turned to Dr. Elias and said, humanity had passed the first test, awareness. The second test would be response. The facility stood ready. The world stood divided. Humanity stood exactly where it always did. At the edge of something larger. And this time humanity was not alone. Humanity did not wait. That was the first mistake the galaxy had made. While unknown ships hovered in silence above Earth, human networks moved with purpose. Not in unity, but in momentum. Old rivalries faded under shared urgency. Data flowed through paths built overnight. Engineers bypassed protocols. Soldiers adapted formations. Scientists tested theories in real time. The alien woman watched it unfold. With quiet focus, she said nothing at first. She did not need to. This was the response her people had failed to predict. Humanity did not require instruction to act. It required reason. Dr. Elias Monroe stood beside her as global defense grids synchronized through manual control. Humanity did not possess the most advanced technology. It possessed flexibility. When automated systems failed, humans filled gaps. With intuition. The enhanced soldier confirmed rising pressure in the awareness field. The ships above Earth were adjusting again. They had begun to realize that observation alone was no longer safe. Humans were changing the environment simply by reacting to it. The alien woman explained that her people relied on prediction. They simulated outcomes until risk reached zero. Humans operated differently. Humans accepted risk and moved anyway. That trait made prediction unstable. Earth launched no weapons, no threats, no signals. Instead, humanity altered behavior. Satellites shifted orbits. Energy emissions changed pattern. Communication noise increased, then stopped suddenly. Silence returned, but it was controlled silence. The unknown ships responded by spreading formation. That reaction confirmed vulnerability. Colonel Harris authorized a limited demonstration. Not an attack. A proof. Human scientists used the alien residue left behind in the tank chamber, not as fuel, as reference. They studied its response patterns and recreated a harmless echo through electromagnetic manipulation. The result rippled through near space like a question. Asked too loudly. The ships recoiled. That moment changed everything. The alien woman closed her eyes briefly. She said her people would understand now. Humans had not copied alien technology. They had improvised around it. That was worse. The enhanced soldier reported clarity beyond human norms. He could sense hesitation from above, doubt, fear. The galaxy had believed humans would beg or panic. Humans did neither. Dr. Elias realized the truth then. Humanity had not joined the galactic stage through invitation. It had stepped onto it through consequence. A message finally arrived from the ships, not in words, in structure. A mathematical signal acknowledging presence and requesting assessment delay. The alien woman translated its meaning simply. They were asking for time. Colonel Harris granted none. He ordered continued adaptation. Humans would not pause their evolution. To comfort observers, the alien woman said this choice would echo beyond Earth. Other species would notice. They would adjust. Humanity would no longer be a mystery. It would be a factor. Above Earth, the ships began withdrawal. Not retreat, repositioning. They had learned enough to fear, but not enough to flee. The enhanced soldier collapsed briefly, then recovered, his body stabilizing at a new baseline. Human physiology was adjusting faster than any model allowed. The alien woman acknowledged her final role. She said her people would label her a traitor. She accepted it. She said Earth had earned knowledge, not through dominance, Through refusal to be limited. Dr. Elias asked what came next. She answered that the galaxy would respond, some with curiosity, some with caution, some with fear. Humanity would need to choose what it became in response. The ships vanished into deeper orbit. Humanity did not celebrate. It prepared. The alien woman looked at the planet through reinforced glass. She said humans were not heroes or monsters. They were accelerants. Wherever they went, change followed. The facility powered down to controlled stability. Systems held. People breathed. The galaxy had witnessed its first HFY moment. Not violence. Adaptation. And it would not be the last. The world did not change overnight. That was the first lesson humanity learned after the ships withdrew. Cities still woke to traffic and noise. People still argued and dreamed. Yet something invisible had shifted. Earth was no longer alone in the dark. Earth had been seen. Inside the underground facility, silence replaced alarms. Systems stabilized under human control rather than automated order. Soldiers rested without standing down. Scientists continued working without being told. Humanity had crossed a line and instinctively understood that there was no return. The alien woman stood at the observation window, watching the curve of the planet. She no longer felt like a visitor. She had made her choice. Earth was not a refuge. It was a beginning. Dr. Elias Monroe joined her quietly. He did not ask questions. He understood that some answers arrived only after action. She spoke first. She said the galaxy would argue about humanity for generations. Some would call humans dangerous. Others would call them necessary. No one would call them weak. Colonel Harris entered the chamber with new reports. Distant systems had begun to change behavior. Long-range sensors detected shifts in traffic patterns across deep space. Humanity had become a reference point. The galaxy had adjusted its models. The enhanced soldier, now classified as stable, walked freely among the team. His condition had become permanent. He was not alone. Minor changes appeared across human populations. Not dramatic, subtle, faster reaction times, sharper awareness. Humanity was not evolving into something else. It was becoming more itself. The alien woman explained that her people believed evolution required guidance. Humans proved it did not. Pressure and choice were enough. Global leaders struggled to respond. Some demanded secrecy. Others demanded expansion. Humanity argued as it always had. Yet beneath disagreement ran shared understanding. The universe was larger than belief systems. Survival required adaptation. The alien woman prepared to leave the facility. Not to depart Earth, to step into it. She said hiding was no longer useful. Her presence would become known eventually. Better to meet truth openly. Dr. Elias asked her one final question. He asked if she regretted trusting humans. She answered without hesitation. She said regret was a luxury of stable civilizations. Humanity was not stable. Humanity was alive. Above Earth, distant stars pulsed faintly with new signals. Observers watched, calculated, hesitated. Humanity had altered the balance, not by conquest but by refusal to be predictable. The alien woman smiled as she stepped toward the exit. She repeated her first words, but this time with quiet humor. If I drip on you, blame yourself. This time it was not a warning. It was a lesson. Humanity had opened the tank. Humanity had accepted the consequence. And the galaxy would spend a long time learning what that meant.